Hey everyone. Kind of see what we've got going on here. Hey Tank, how are you today? Oh, well, working is important. Hey Sheepdog. Hey everybody. I'm actually having a great day. I'm doing really good, David. How are you today? I hope you're having a great day as well. I'm parked in a weird angle of the parking lot today, so I feel like I should have had a V8 today to eat. Juice, how are you? Wow, several of you guys are already here. That's awesome. That makes my day. It uh, it is going wonderful. I've had a really I've had a stressful day. I've had a pretty crappy day at work actually, but everything worked out all right, as well as it could be, and so being off work makes it even better. And I know already a couple people are at work right now, so I hate to I don't know flaunt that I'm not at work, but I am not at work tonight, and I'm excited about it. So I used to try to do videos every day, Juice. It's just I noticed that my content went down, and so I chose to do the 3 days a week because it's 3 videos a week for YouTube, and then I do at least one a little more in depth or a little more me for Patreon. So 4 videos a week is it's a lot actually. So probably not going to be able to up it to every day very often. On the flip side, though, if it's not a Tuesday or Thursday or a Saturday, if I post a video any other days, most of the time either God's hit me with the spirit to post it, or or so, I don't know. That's pretty much the only reason I do that. So Bobo is working tonight. Juice, there's lots of good channels. Matter of fact, when I'm not inspired to talk to you guys in the morning, then I listen to Viking Preparedness and Bear Independent, Prepping in Progress. They put out a good one today about teenagers and prepping. Um, those are the main ones I listen to pretty regularly. Good morning, or howdy. So let's see. Mechmaster, that's pretty good. Bill, you are far from late. I didn't even start until about 4 minutes ago. And again, I am here while my daughter is in church, and I just I've a lot of things have been on my mind, and yeah, McMaster, I heard that. So where I live here in Northwest Arkansas is kind of it is the brain, the center of Walmart or China Mart or whatever you want to call it, and so I have several friends that are employed at Walmart, and they're not going to be selling it at least for a while. They're not closing the doors to their suppliers, but it looks like they're going to be, not selling pistol ammo, and both of those sometimes, depending on how smart people are, whether those are pistol ammunitions or not. In my mind, they're not. They're rifle ammunitions. I know some people have AR pistols, but um, I like AR pistols. Sheepdog, I think we've actually had that. I mean, a comment thread maybe that the two of us were in, that I would like to buy ammo by the case, but often, howdy Lone Star, often I can't, and so it's been really easy or more convenient. I guess if it's not about being easy, but more convenient for me to pick it up a box or two at a time. Um, I've only bought case ammo I've only bought it by myself twice. Both times that was at the Tulsa Watermaker. And I'm not saying it right, but the Tulsa Gun Show, and it was actually last weekend. And I had one of my magmates go out there, um, and of course we haven't talked. Tomorrow night is my usual guys' night out where we meet up and we talk about that. Hey Cindy, and of course tomorrow we're going on a field trip. I'm kind of excited. We're leaving Northwest Arkansas to go to the River Valley, and that's good. Oh, sorry, I saw a comment I wanted to go to. Yes, I like PSA, Palmetto State Armory. I get their email at least once a day. It's one of the few that I don't get rid of. I keep signed up for their daily deals, or what they call. And often, I mentioned that I only buy bulk ammo once or twice by myself, but often several of us go together and buy. 25 cents a round is really good. I don't know if you guys can hear that weird sound. I turned my vent to defrost, and it made a weird sound. And holy mackerel, you didn't. I certainly didn't do anything to earn that. Thank you very much. That's a wonderful blessing. So I did have some subjects, and ammo is actually not one of them, but I want to talk about that because that's a big deal. Well, it's always a big deal to me, so I hope it is to you guys too. I like to train. I like to shoot. I know I'm a big guy and I'm cumbersome and I'm slower than some people, but I make up for it by my consistent training, and I don't suck at shooting my handgun particularly. I practice, I practice, I practice, I practice, I practice, because when I deploy that firearm, I want it to know what my capabilities are. Calm. Hey Harold. So I understand when stress levels get high, my accuracy is going to diminish. And so if I can shoot 90% or better, uh, then I think that I will be okay in the real deal. Absolutely. I didn't mean that I wasn't capable. And but one of my partners that I shoot with is is a little wiry guy, and he may watch this. He's a great guy. He takes care of me and supports me and comments on my videos and stuff. But he is just like a spider monkey, and it's just crazy what he can do. And he's super accurate and he's super safe, and I really like shooting with him. And a lot of the drills that I do, I think that was Westwood. Sorry, I'm going to go back. Oh, Westhold. So yes, a lot of the drills that I do are holster drills and trigger drills and reload drills, and I don't actually need to fire around to do most of that. I want that muscle memory to be consistent, nonstop. Um, it's like I won't change or I won't carry a different holster until I've drawn from it hundreds and hundreds of times. And I just won't. I want it to be second nature. I want to feel where it's at on my body and know right here, that's where it goes. If it's crossed, I don't cross draw very often because it's a long ways around. Uh, as I have been walking more, I actually tried an ankle holster all last week. Not out and about, just around the house, so I could start working on how I would deploy that. And other than I shouldn't try it on stairs, that was a pretty thing. And but it went pretty well. I'm still going to stick with the way that I normally carry for right now. But I had come across an ankle holster that was designed for a big leg and designed for boots, and I wear pretty high boots. And so I really liked it. So Juice, does my mag train with other groups? Absolutely. The way that we open the doors for that is, of course, our leadership. I mean, number one, we either have to be asked or we have to care enough about people and know them well enough a little bit already for the bosses to say, hey guys, we'd like to go train with this other group. And we used to train, well, some of us in my current group used to train a lot with statewide groups and even region-wide groups. And hey, Chipper. And so we did a lot of training with outside people for that. We kind of grew apart from all that, some of those folks. And so it's a little bit harder now. Plus, the type of training we were doing then was mostly it was just us trying to run and gun and patrol and security stuff. We hardly did any training on other things. Like medical training was an almost never thing, and we never trained each other or shared with each other on setting up camps or the best way to set up tents or to build shelters or to do mass feedings or how do you build a latrine in the woods. And to me, that's all important training. So we kind of keep to ourselves for the training unless there's a purpose. And I'm not one of those that gets to make. I mean, I can make recommendations, of course, but I don't get to make those decisions solely on my own. And that's probably best because I'm a pretty open book type of guy. So it's like, oh, okay, we're going to go to the range this day. Come on out. And so we do that. So let's see. I got a new notebook. I don't know if you guys like writing the rain stuff. Obviously, it is brand new. Write in the Rain notebooks. I really want to have. I need to be able to write, to take notes, whether I'm doing observation of something, or if I want to remember something, or if I'm passing through an area and want to leave directions or something. And so I picked up a couple of these. I actually picked them up for Cody at Sojourner Gear because I'd had a couple before. Like when I'm at work on duty, I use them all the time because it's often wet where I work. But I picked a couple up for not work, and so I really like them. I don't like the pens. I don't have the right pen, so I'm just using this pen that I stole from a bank here in Northwest Arkansas. Anyway, I don't know where I went off on writing the rain notebooks. Let's see. What did I have to talk about? Oh, I wanted to show you guys something from when I first started in YouTube several years ago. Sorry, I'm going back a couple. So, Juice, if you would, if you're ever interested in inviting the group or communicating about training or JTXs or things, just go to the either nwaprepper.com, send an email through that, or you can email me at travis@adventurefrontier.com. Badger, toot my own horn. I'm not saying I won't. I don't usually like to. So if that was directed to me, just kind of let me know what you'd like. Pennsylvania Prepper. I need to watch that. I mean, I like them from my personal experiences, but I just hadn't yet. Oh, so on the notebook it says the kind of pens you can't use, and there is no way I'm going to be able to read this in this crappy light. I say that I can see it. Gel pens, highlighters, fountain pens, and water-based pens and Sharpies don't work very well. And it says it right on the part of it that we all rip off and throw away. I think it's supposed to be like hung on a shelf. But pencils, absolutely. I got 2 pencils right there. Plus, I can fix pencils if I mess them up. So, Badger, patches. My patches have been ordered. I should get the sample any day now. I'm so excited. And they are. I ordered them in 3-inch, which I will show you. This is my new Sojourner gear bag. And so somebody took my patch I had on there. I got a new patch for it the other day. And so 3-inch patch is about this size here. And that little turkey. I Scout took my Bear Independent patch I got. It's similar in size to that if you've seen that. And so I'm hoping that they're here. I would like them to say they'll be here in about 4 weeks. But the company that I ordered them from is a friend of a friend. And so when I said no hurry, then sorry, I got a text I had to look at. I said no hurry, and I meant no hurry. I'd like to have them before I go to SHOT Show in January. And so that was kind of my thing. Hey, Corsair. Billy Bird Outdoors. We are just talking right now. And those patches. So the Bear Independent patches is should be out very, very soon. He was stuffing them yesterday. I'm gonna see him, Lord willing, tomorrow evening, and so we're gonna be able to get some more updates on his patches. They look really cool. They're nice. I'm a patch guy. I mean, I have a patch right here. I've got a bag of patches there. I've got them on my backpack. But his patches are really nice. I like the size. I like the thickness. It's got good Velcro on them, so I'm pretty excited. Speaking of logos, I went into this a few minutes ago, and I kind of got sidetracked, which is very easy to do for those of you that know me at all. Is when I first started my channel, and I was watching other channels, and I started noticing that they had channel stickers. and they'd stick them on the wall behind them, or wherever they'd stick them. And so I went to, I don't even remember this company. It's been so long ago. Yeah, I don't even remember. It's a product of Canada. And so my first NWA prepper stickers was this giant guy right there. It was very, very plain, um, and huge, but it was what I found, and I was excited, and I ordered, I don't know, about a dozen of them, and I still have two or three that I haul around. So that got me to looking at logos, and then one of my friends from the scouting world is a graphic designer, and so he did that new logo that I have that I really like. I'm really proud of it. Ironically, I don't have anything with it on it within reach. Uh, Old school prepper. It's like I just watched a video from you a couple minutes ago. How are you this evening? Hmm. Let's see. Oh, there it is. So, Billy Bird Outdoors Woodland Camo is the best looking. I don't disagree with you, and I like it. It was not my favorite, particularly like that pack I showed you, which is it's new, it's still sharp. I mean, there's no color stuff. So I really like the pattern, but when we ordered these backpacks, there were four of us that ordered them, and because we designed them just how we wanted, so there were four of us that ordered, and I told Cody to just whatever four colors he wanted. I wanted to do different colors, and then I let of the four of us, it's Bobo, Mr. Clean, Steven with Prepping in Progress, and myself. We all ordered backpacks, and I let them pick the other colors. I let them pick the colors that they wanted, and all of them are made wonderfully. All the patterns were fine. So Bobo got the coyote or the tan. Mr. Clean got multicam, which he's excited about. That's what both of those guys wanted that. And then Steven got the olive drab, and then woodland camo was what was left. So normally I don't like camo backpacks, but I do. All right, thanks for stopping by, Corsair. Have a great night. Let's see. So Juice is my current job an EMT. So my career field right now is a mix of emergency services. My full time gig is I'm a firefighter. I'm one of the officers of a department, so I I work hard and I work with the other captains and lieutenants, and sorry, I was reading, and then we do EMS. I was on the squad for years and years, and I just as I got older, I got more experience. I chose to move into the administration and to the fireside and let the younger guys run the EMS calls. And then I ended up now we go on every one. I was on three today, so we run with them, and so we do first responder, but we also have a great relationship with our ambulance. It's stationed at our station, and we work the whole call with them, short of the trip to the hospital. And then my part-time job is I'm in law enforcement, so I do a little bit of both. Um, Prepping in progress. How are you? Prepping in progress. The pack. He got one of the packs. I'm assuming that's Steven. But anyway, so that's kind of the deal with my job. Is I have a full-time job in fire and EMS, and then I have a part-time job in law enforcement, which is good. I like them both, and I did law enforcement and fire, or law enforcement and EMS based fire in a couple of the big cities, or well, for me, big cities, not like Chicago or New York, but um, big cities in Arkansas, Pine Bluff and Rogers and big places like that for me. So first responders are great, man. I mean, that's BLS or basic life support is absolutely the basis for all medical care. Somebody can be the smartest, most proficient person at advanced care, and if they're not good at basic life support or have somebody that's a first responder, EMR, or EMT to take care of those basic things for them, the advanced stuff doesn't matter at all. It's terrible. I know lots of good paramedics, and I have a long time ago. Why, thank you, Stephen Turkey. I know lots of good paramedics, and the best paramedics I think were the best first responders, and then the best EMTs. So, Chipper, in the town that you live in, my name is Mud. So I wouldn't name drop there. That might be best for you. I I didn't fit in there very well because I'm not a drunk, and I didn't drive a big cowboy truck and wear boots and all that. So I didn't fit in. I had to move to a different type of community to excel and to get where I am today. I learned a lot there. I learned about a lot about working with personnel that you had problems with or didn't agree with, and that you could still get the job done in a great way. They're wonderful. They do great EMS. They're great firefighters. Their police officers are top notch. I didn't fit the mold there, and at the time I was hurt. I'm like, oh, man, because they were the pinnacle in my mind to work at that department. Was awesome. And the longer I was there, the more I was like, I just don't like this. And I found myself waking up in the middle of the night to go to an ambulance run for someone who was sick. And instead of getting up and being in a hurry and I need to get there, I want to take care of them, I want to be the arms of compassion for my community, I found myself going, really? It's 3:00 in the morning and you're going to call me for this? And that's not who I wanted to be. And that probably had a lot with my separation. Is I guess I was burned out. I needed a change. I don't know. Well, thank you, old school. I couldn't have been a leader there. Not because I didn't have some good leaders. There were some. Well, there was a gentleman who took me under his wing and really taught me not only how to be a good firefighter and a decent EMT, which there's wonderful hardworking EMTs everywhere that are a million times better than me. I guess I do better now, but back then I didn't do my best, I guess. But I learned how to be, or I was shown how to be a good leader and to lead from the front of the rope pulling and not lead from the back pointing and shouting orders. There's a time for both types of leadership. Absolutely a time for both. But for the most part, in the fire department I'm at today, which is the one that I've been at for years and years, it's it's not about, I don't need to tell people what to do, because I can just go, hey, we need to roll the hose. Would you help with that? And the guys, for the most part, jump up and they're like, absolutely. And so I don't really have to tell anyone. But I think that's because I've learned from my superiors over the years that when when the guys below me see me doing things and they know that I care about them, I care about how they do the job, I care about our professionalism, I care about them and their families. I want them to succeed, and I hope they feel that. And so that makes me a little bit better leader, um, because I'm emulating the leaders that I've had over the years. I've had, and most of them were captains, and I've had some station captains that were blunt and gruff, and pushed you and pushed you and pushed you until they felt that it wasn't time to push you anymore, and they knew that point. And I've spent a lot of my life trying to be those captains, trying to be those officers, and hopefully that makes me a better everything. A better father. Certainly makes me a better man, or I think it does. Do mentors are great. Um, and you can have a mentor in anything. And mentors not only help me with my walk with God, they help with my family. If you don't have someone who can be a mentor, that's the first thing I would look for. Extreme Ownership by Jocko. I think I have that. I want to say I have that. I just haven't read that yet. I'll have to get that out. I even know where it's at. I've got quite a bookshelf, but yeah, I know where that's at. Um, Thank you for reminding me that. I mean, I've heard that it was a wonderful book. It's just not something that I put my hands on yet. Really, the first week, that's awesome. Let's see. I had a. Oh, I wrote it down. I don't have to guess anymore. I made notes. I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. So we talked about ammunition a little while ago, which kind of leads into my next, which is a question for you guys, because where I live, it is week one of our modern gun deer season. So the woods are full of hunters, and and they're all out there, and they're all they're all in their camouflage, and they're all with their deer rifles. And so, what do you for where you guys live? What do you think the best camouflage pattern is for hunting or hunting? I'm in Northwest Arkansas. We go hunting. High value. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull one off before Christmas. But hold my feet to the fire. We can make it happen. Oh, yeah. Babo is a pretty good. Sorry, there's an alarm going off. Babo is a pretty good help to get one of those together within just a few weeks. And I like meetings. A matter of fact, I just this last weekend had a great meeting. In the trailer with a gun out the window. Well, I guess that would work. Zub Zub, is that how we say it? I hope so. I don't know. So my thing down here, woodland is my favorite pattern. Um, but it is And I guess it's pretty much the best as far as the easily accessible patterns. But there's a really good Realtree pattern, and I apologize, I forgot what it is. ASAT. The pattern is about 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. And when I used to work, I didn't have enough to do with my life with all the other stuff. So I had another job. I had 3 jobs, and I worked at a Cabela's, and I was in the on the hunt and gun side, and because of that, I got to see the new patterns that come out in equipment, not really in the clothes. And there were some really good patterns. I picked up a duffel bag that I would really think if I set it down, I would lose it. Thank you, Texan. I a light bulb went off in my head when I read it. So high value, I'm not going to tell you no about the links, but if it's something that's which I've met you. I don't think it'll be crazy. If it's something way out there, just know I'm going to delete it. But you're throw it up. Uh, breakup. Maybe it's breakup. Moss Yoke breakup. I think that's exactly it. I saw some. I saw some local guys making pattern, like taking their own cloth and trying to do it. Texan, the trees that are around us, we have a lot of white oaks, which is a big broad green, like a bright green leaf. We've got a lot of maples, which are another bright leaf. Junipers, though everyone around here calls them cedar trees. Um, and then a few pine, not very many. Some hickory, a lot of hardwoods really. And then as you get a little bit further away from me, you get some pine forests, but they're planted. So my deer stand, Texan, if you're listening and not reading, Texan said, "Am I going to sit in a deer stand, and how high up?" So my primary stand, I've got 2 stands that I go to. My primary stand is actually on ground level because I'm right on the edge of a knoll and it drops down, and I've got, you know, almost almost 280 degrees of down into fields. And so that's my primary one that I like. But other than that, I've got a 20 foot lean in stands, ladder stand. But other than that, where I'm a helichopper coming in, where I'm at, I don't get shots that I can make if I'm any higher than that. We're lucky down here where I hunt to get a 35, 40 yard shot because it's so dense. And oh, okay, I'm gonna crack the door. I was trying to listen for the helicopter motors. Oh my gosh, Arctic camo! I would go crazy. I used to live in Colorado, but I don't miss it at all. I mean, I miss elk hunting. Not that I was little. Not that I ever really remember the experience, but I miss eating elk and I miss having them around. It's just a different environment. So I've always been hunting here in Northwest Arkansas, really, where whitetail are a big thing. Yeah, Tank, I kind of agree at distance. Most camouflage just makes you look like a blob. And most of the time, and I say most of the time, like 90% of the time, unless I'm going turkey hunting, which I don't do very often anymore, then I'm wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt, or blue jeans and a shirt, and whatever my jacket, either a gray jacket that I have, or I've got a tan one, which looks similar to a Carhartt. It's probably a generic Carhartt, but that's what it is. How about calibers? What caliber guns do you guys? And it's whether or not you have it. It's what's your preference? Do you like 30-30s? Are you not six guy? 223, which is a great round. I mean, you can do it. I have lots and lots hunted with a 223. it let's see, a 12 gauge. So my first high value. Thank you so very much. That's what. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the blessing. My first memories of deer hunting was a New England Arms breakdown single shot 410, and I killed as many deer with that shotgun as I have any other any other caliber short of a 30-30, which is what I use now as an adult. And guys, your sheepdog, thank you so much. I I'm beside myself. 12 gauge. I mean, yeah, it's a great gun. People often forget that a 12 gauge shotgun can do so much, and they try to focus on, oh well, I've got a 7 millimeter to do this and do that, and they forget that they can just get it done for the most part with that. That's twice, Steven. Stop it. Go to Aikido, and I will see you tomorrow night. I hope you got the location. I'm excited. I miss you. It's been like 2 days, and I miss you already. Texan, that's what I like to deer hunt with too. I've got a I've got a rifled slug barrel that came with my shotgun. I didn't come with my shotgun. When my father bought it, he got the slug barrel, and I went out 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, and put on the slug barrel and practice with some rifled slugs. Just I'm not sure. I don't go hunting opening weekend. I like for the crowds to be thinner. it's uh, on at the opening weekend of deer camp. I find that too many people are either started to drink early and out in the woods in the evening, or hungover from the night before, and so I would just as soon be there the weekend after. And not everybody. Just I have had a negative experience at deer camp, and that was the experience. I've also had positive experiences where it was we hunt during the day, and then once you get to the campfire at night, tops started popping, and it was fine because the hunting was over. And I prefer those groups, and those are who I go out with now. Actually, I'm pretty blessed. One of the guys that I work around has a pretty significant 300-acre deer lease in South Arkansas that I go down and I just hang out and I camp. And there's 3 or 4 different subgroups that come in, and I've met them all over the years, and so I get to spend time with them and visit. And yeah, and just have a good time. Because that's so for I don't know about for you guys, and I noticed some other calibers up there. I'm sorry I missed them. I saw a 30-06, I think. 308 is my newest desire to hunt with, but no rifles allowed for hunting. 30-06 is is a good round. I mean, nobody has mentioned around that I'm not crazy about. Man, you need to move down here. And I say that just because I really like my firearms, and so I would be uncomfortable. Lake Bull Shoals. So Texan, I actually grew up in the Mountain Home area, about a half a mile from Bull Shoals Lake. So that's where I did the majority of my hunting as a youth, was around Bull Shoals Lake. Well, Stay Survived, I try to say it all the time that I believe it's a together thing. So if I can help you get any information or get you in contact with people down here, realtors or places to work, I'm all about it. And, Texan, how long did I live there? Well, I grew up there. I went to high school there, and pretty much, if you count between Yellville and Mountain Home and Bull Shoals, that kind of loop, and Harrison, then I was there from, man, my whole life until I moved away with my to get married to my wife. So I lived there about 20 years, 21 years, and I know some Cowans. There are several of them around there. Rhonda Cowan comes to mind. She's the one that I visualize. I haven't been back home in several years, other than to just go visit when my parents were alive, but never just to cruise around, the neighborhood. I like to go back there and go camping. I miss camping on the White River, and I know a lot of people don't because it's a controlled river. Um, but I guess because my first summer job was cooking on the river as a shore lunch cook, and so rainbow trout are awesome. I love it, and I so I would go to set up, and my job was I'd either drive to a shore spot or I'd take a big 20-foot commissary boat or a flat bottom boat with all the cooking gear and chairs and flies and all the food, and you'd go to the river and you'd go to where the guides that were taking the fishermen out wanted to eat, and I'd set up and I would cook lunch for them, or shore lunch. And more often than not, it was uh, fish if they'd caught any, which it didn't matter. I always brought some from the dock that I'd caught the night before, or in the morning when I kind of waiting for the fire to get ready, I would go fishing and try to catch some stalkers. And so normally trout, hush puppies were kind of the mainstays. I always took some chicken, or I tried to, depending on who I worked for. But when I worked for Gaston's, we could take chicken, and I could fry chicken and some French fries, and awesome. Russellville's not that far away. I've got a bunch of friends that live real close to there. One that was on here a little while ago, and so I would cook lunch for them, and I tried, and I'd been taught from my father, who was a guide and was a cook before me, and I was a young cook. I was 14, 15 years old, and I started as a cook's helper, and then I started outperforming the cooks, and so they just said, okay, well, who's your helper today? And so some of the guys that I'd been their cook's helper were my cook's helper. But I would do the little things, not just throw some tables up and some camp chairs and fry some food. It was, I'd set the tables up, and I had white tablecloths, or not always white, but I tried to get white tablecloths. I'd have an apron for cooking, and then when the customers pulled up in the boats, I'd take that cooking apron off and toss it, and I'd put on a nice white one. I always had drinks in the cooler for them. I had coleslaw. I had, anything, nice that I could have for them because they paid good money for a shore lunch. And I was 14 and 15, 16 years old, and I was making $75 for 3/4 of a day. I was always home before 3 o'clock, always, usually before that. And so I tried to make it, I don't know, special is maybe not the word, but I tried to be as professional as I could so that they had a good experience. And if they had a good experience, they would not only would they perhaps give me a tip, or their guides, if their guides were doing a good job and lunch was good, maybe they would get a little bit better tip from the customers. And so, I don't even know. Oh, because of where we were from, the White River. How are you? Upstate New York. Good Lord. 4 degrees and 5 inches of snow. I don't want to tell you that it's 41 degrees, and we had about 3 snowflakes yesterday. Haunted, it was kind of catering, and I enjoyed it. I still enjoy cooking outside, and I think it started from, well, I know it started from, I was just old enough to ride in the boat with my dad, and we went when you could still use a motor. You could still motor on the Buffalo National River, and we went for a week, and he took me with him for a week on the Buffalo River, and all we were doing was cooking for these, I think there were 4 boats of fishermen that were going down. And so we'd just break camp, and we would motor downstream, stop for lunch. Most of the time they had box lunches for lunch. We'd make them breakfast, and then we'd make a nice dinner, steak and baked potato, and it varied, but nice dinners, and set up the tents for them and set up cots for them, and set up camp. And in the morning after breakfast, we tore it all down and we moved downriver and we do it again. And I remember every day of that week. Every day. I remember sections of the river that even today when I canoe down them or when I'm hiking down them, I just remember. And I remember the feeling of being with my dad and working. It was hard work, but I remember it. And so that's probably why I like cooking outdoors so much today. Is I grin. Anytime I do anything, and I make terrible hush puppies. I destroy them. My oil's either way too cold or way too hot, and I always think of my dad telling me, oh, you're doing crazy. You need to do this or you need to do that. I can see moving away, Texan. It takes special people to stay in the cold. Just like I think it takes a different breed of people to stay down where it's hot all the time. So we're talking a little bit. A couple days ago, I posted a real short little blurb about Cindy. Have a great night. Thanks for being here, and thank you so much for the blessing. I really do appreciate it. What do here's some things that I've got going on. I've got some videos that are kind of in a series talking about dealing with MAG groups or mutual assistance groups that are already done. They're already scheduled. And that takes us through the end of the NWA Prepper Challenge for the month, which will be about Thanksgiving. I forgot the exact day. And then the day we do the drawing, I'm also going to do a truck video per requested. I think Bruce was in here a little while ago. And I'm going to share with you how I've got my vehicle set up. I will probably not do both mine and my wife's, but I'll do that, and then I've got some skill stuff that I want to do, and one of them, which I don't want to give it away, but I don't know how to do. So it's going to be a matter of I'm going to be practicing because I've read about it and things like that, and so I'm going to be practicing it, and I'm going to film it, and we're going to talk about it, and hopefully I know I'll learn some lessons and have a good time, but hopefully you guys will too with that. And there'll be more skill based stuff. I'm kind of getting into winter camp mode because I like to go camping when there's a reason. Hey, John, when there's a reason to go, to have a fire and to hang around the camp. And in the summertime, I find myself not wanting to be at camp. I want to be out and around. I'm trying to catch up. You guys are, it seems like you're having a great conversation. That's awesome. Moved from Texas to meet you. That is awesome. Man, I don't have a whole lot of memories from up in New York area. I've been through a couple times in my life, but not. I didn't get to do anything. Like I was just talking about when I go winter camping. That's when I like camp life. It's when I work on camp gadgets and I focus a lot on the cooking aspect of it. Because in the summer I want to be fishing or I want to be hiking. Uh, I don't do great distances. I guess I could, but I don't. But I like going out and being a minimalist and seeing how little I can get by with equipment wise in the summer. In the winter, I don't hesitate to take an extra quilt or another sleeping bag or things like that. Let's see what else did I? We talked about a little bit about ammo. Mm. So the Adirondacks. I think I'm saying that right. So I may not be. Adirondack Hermit. I will look that up. And I lost my train of thought completely. A squirrel went by. What was that? I don't remember. Totally don't remember. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me later. So I do know. I know exactly what. I was looking at my list. So what do you guys think of Wednesdays? This is about my third time to try on Wednesdays to get to spend some feedback time with you guys so we can communicate. Um, I mean, Wednesdays seem to be working. I mean, there's 18, 19 of us in the room right now. Do you like Wednesdays, or is there a better time you could think of? I guess. Um, so let me know either now or you can send the comments or something. I'm giggling at the squirrel comment. Well, good. It seems like several of the people in the room, particularly some of the ones that have already commented, are the ones that I get a lot of feedback and a lot of encouragement from. Free Spirit Press News, how are you tonight? I was I was looking at it. I guess a message. I can't look at it. Somehow I opened Messenger and it was a message from, I don't know, months and months and months ago. And it was a link that I guess I had looked at just enough to comment, but not really paid that great of attention. And so I went back and watched it, and that's why I was thinking of you just a little while ago. Well, good. Wednesdays work really well for me. Of course, so last Wednesday, I have no reason. I just wasn't feeling well. So I got off work and I went home and just, I did nothing, which that is not me. I don't, I don't sit still very long. Um, and then the Wednesday before that, I was here, and then Bobo showed up. It's without he was done with his class that he had been doing, and I don't know. He didn't say anything. He didn't act too terribly different, but I guess I just thought he needed my undivided attention as my friend, and so we just drove around and talked. Perhaps we went for a sandwich, but I don't remember. My daughter, I think she likes it when I'm here, so until she decides that she doesn't want me up here, then that's my plan. And not, and of course on Wednesdays it'll be in the truck at least until summer, and then we can do things because there's a wonderful park behind me that is awesome. It's got lots of possibilities when you guys can see. It's no fun if I go set up a camp in the dark, or if I do something in the dark or check something out. It's fine, but not if you guys can't see it. So, what part of New York are you guys talking about? Oh, I know, Haunted. The I don't mean that as if I've got something. If I've got real world stuff to do, then I've got real world stuff to do, just like you guys do. Oh no, but I enjoy it. This gives me feedback and encouragement to carry me through the week, and then when I focus on taking the topics and things that have been on my heart for a week, and I decide to put them into video form, this feeds me pretty well. And for my only fourth or fifth maybe live stream, I I'm enjoying it a great deal. My first one was awesome. So I was so nervous, and which is the weekend that I met Chipper there, Chipper 66. It was I was at Cabela's doing the NRA recruiter thing, and I totally just got on to say, hey guys, how's it going? If you're close, come by. I'd love to meet you and shake hands. And he did, and it was wonderful. It made my whole, not just my whole weekend, but my whole week. So, and this is my I don't know why I got this shirt for me. I do know. So when my father passed away, which I talk about a lot because I love him and he meant a lot to me, one of his wishes in his final wishes was that I use some of the money that he gave me to take my family on a vacation because we'd never been on vacation, and so I took him on a doozy of a vacation. He we spent a lot of money, and I could have used it for so many other things, and oh we did what he wanted. We went on a vacation that I think would make him proud, and we went to Universal Studios and Disney in Florida. And so I wanted to have Star Wars shirts to wear when we were doing Star Wars stuff. And so That's why I bought this one. Hmm. Makes me think there, Chipper. So, oh my gosh, there's no way I would totally butcher that name. I am an NRA recruiter, and until the Gun Owners of America gets to be big enough that the people that disagree with me start naming them every time they talk about with gun rights and the Second Amendment, then I will continue to recruit for the NRA, even though I don't agree with everything that they do. They're still the biggest dog in the fight to me, and so I do the recruiting things. It's fun. It started for me NRA recruiting. I mean, it started for me with one of my friends, Stacy, was like, "Hey, you should come up and see me." And he was totally trying to get me to just pay my membership. I'm not stupid, but I wanted to be his friend, and so I went out of my way to go visit him at one of his recruiting sites, and he asked me, "Hey, do you mind? I need to use the restroom. Would you just stand here and socialize? And if somebody's interested, tell them I'll be right back." And so, of course, I wouldn't. A complete stranger could ask me something like that, and I'll come back to that. They survived, and so he went. He went to the restroom, and I got in a conversation. And I wasn't a recruiter, so I could talk politics. And we talked for a little bit, and I learned that. Well, I just learned about this person, and it was exciting and wonderful. And then he asked me to come help him again, or to swing by the next time. And then eventually, it was, "Hey, I'm going for the weekend out of town. Would you mind coming and helping so that I have a partner who I can, with two people, one person can walk away and stretch, and it's just everything's better with two people." So, and I did, and I really liked it, and I've learned so much, even about the organization that's not it's not what everyone notices right away. And I met some wonderful people, some great instructors. Holy crap, the instructors! And I don't know if you guys have ever, if you remember when you were a kid, or if you're familiar with the Eddie the Eagle program. It is totally a cartoon eagle and his buddies teaching firearm safety. Catchy little song, adventures about finding guns and blah blah blah, and how to handle it. And I remember the song and the cartoon from when I was a child. And to this day, and I'm in the police department, if there's a firearm out, I sing the song in the back of my head. If that made an impact on my life, and safety is always curbed in, or cut into my brain, then perhaps by me giving out some Eddie the Eagle cartoons and stickers and things as I recruit will make that kind of an impact in another child's life that will keep them safe. Absolutely, John. So, I am a member of both the NRA and the Gun Owners of America. I do hope that the NRA turns itself around. That's controlled by the board of directors, which I get a vote on as a member, and I pay attention and I learn about the people that run for those board positions, just like I do as many offices or elected people as I can in everything. And I try to pick, and I try to put my vote where the best people are. The Gun Owners of America, they're probably, no, not probably, they're closer to where I want the NRA to be, and they're just not big enough yet. And so I do my dues for both. because I see one day either the GOA takes over the NRA or supersedes them in influence, and that'll be either one of those would be a great thing to me. But I totally understand. The NRA has stopped doing things to the level that I want them to do things. And some of that is my belief that I can't find hidden agendas in the words "shall not be infringed." I also there's more to the Second Amendment than just that. So I believe in the entire Second Amendment. McMaster, have a great, great night. Thank you so much for blessing us by being here. God bless you. I hope you have a great week. A great week. And just, man, I'm so grateful for you guys to be here. It is time, or here in a couple minutes, they're saying prayers and turning the lights out. So I'm probably going to go here in another couple minutes. I've shared a lot this particular evening, and sometimes I get off on my little rants, particularly when we're live, because I don't try to stay on a script. I try to go where I feel led to talk about and say things. Like me fishing and cooking as a kid has nothing to do with preparedness. Well, now that I say that, I think it does, but not in general. And so I try to give you guys, when we do live streams, more about that. So everybody, thank you so much. Sheepdog, Texan, you guys are great. Free Spirit said in there something that is a blessing. Says I motivate her. It's the other way around. You guys push me to do better, to learn harder, to make another lap at the park, and I thank you guys. I really do want us to be ready for emergencies, even though tonight had very little to do with that. So get ready. No matter if it's the end of the world or the end of the day, things happen that I want you guys to be ready for. Thanks for watching. Let's get ready.